I started playing in the band in 4th grade because that's when we started in my elementary school in New York, and I continued on all the way through 9th grade. So I played clarinet, B-flat clarinet from 4th through 9th grade. I was the first seat for most of that time, so I was pretty good at what I did. I had desires to learn more about music. I wanted to play saxophone, I wanted to play drums, keyboards. Music just seemed to come naturally to me. I got really good, I started listening to artists, and because of the way that they created music, I was able to say, oh, well, I know that song is Ludacris, who happened to be one of my favorite artists when I was growing up, and I could say, oh, that one's Will Smith, not just because of the way that they sound, but also because of the things that they say and the types of music that they choose to perform. When I was growing up, I started by joining these different organizations, by being a part of these different clubs, and doing these different events. I started to learn a lot more about music theory and about performance, but I also learned a lot more about God. I was not expecting God to be there, but He was there. And the more I started to learn about music, the more I started to learn about God and how He puts Himself in His creation, and He's here for us to see Him, but some people choose not to see Him. They have no eye to recognize Him. We all have a God that we believe in. For those of us who sit here and say, man, I can't see God, but you see His creation all in front of us, and if you see His creation, then it means that you see Him. You have to see Him. I wasn't expecting to learn about God when I started learning about music, but somehow God spoke to me through that music and through the teachings and through the people that were there. And I began to recognize who God is. Now, when I was younger, one thing that I wondered about was, how do you go about making a song, and what makes you choose those things, or how did it get there? And the other thing that I used to wonder about a lot too was, I hear people make songs, and every once in a while you hear a song about God, and I started to question, well, who is God? And how do I know who God is if I can't see Him? But what God started to show me was that He said, Aaron, you can see who created the song by listening to the creation. So I'm telling you, Aaron, that I created this earth. And you can read about that, but I'm telling you, I created this earth, and you can see who I am by looking at my creation, the same way you see who the artist is by listening to their songs. I think the reason why, or I believe the reason why a lot of us don't know who God is because we don't spend enough time looking at His creation and seeing it for its beauty. If you want to learn more about an artist, you should listen to more of their songs. If you listen to more of their songs, you study more of their lyrics, and you learn a lot more about the type of person it is that's behind this music, So maybe you've never physically met the artist before, but you know them by their music, you know them by their creation. And so when you know them by their creation, you actually know who the creator is. I always put God in my music because God is in my life, and I know that people are going to learn more about me through my music. So if they want to learn about me, I want them to learn more about God as well, because God is in me, as I said. So I am a creator of music, and if you listen to my music, you're going to learn about me as well. The creation always points back to who the creator is. It's my choice to put God in my music because it's my choice to put God in my life. And if I'm gonna make songs about life, it's going to include God in those songs. So it's your choice to see the God in my music. It's your choice to see who I am, or to ignore it and just act like it's not there. I mean, many people do that every day anyways. They're oblivious to what's around them. If you don't want to hear something, you're more than likely not to hear it or to understand it. So you're not going to like it. You're not going to agree with it. I know I'm going back and forth between music and God, but if you don't understand God, if you don't want to understand God, you're not going to understand His creation, and that's the bottom line of it all.